I definitely was not ready for the city life. Where I need to be right now, temporarily. I didn't want there to be any excuses. I was 20 years old, and I just stepped out on faith. And my favorite genre of music to listen to in my spare time is probably soul R&B, like genuine soul R&B though. And that's why I'm deeply influenced by like the 90s and early 2000s even, because when I think real soul R&B, I think about Usher and Genuine and Jodeci, Drew Hill, Aaliyah, like thickly layered, deep, soulful, heavy R&B. That's my favorite of all time. But on my album, I tried intentionally, it was a conscious decision to not just go R&B, because you have a couple R&B ballads on there and that go that route, but I wanted to definitely be diverse and to have funk and have hip-hop and even a little bit of pop on there. New Jack Swing, I tried to keep it very diverse because I wanted it to be very relatable as much as possible. I'm very heavily musically influenced and greatly inspired by a lot of the older singers, as you can tell by my music. I have a more old soul, but I love Bruno Mars. I've always have, and I also look to Michael Jackson, and I say them two in particular because they're great male vocalists with higher registers. And naturally, as a male vocalist, I've always sang in a higher register. And there weren't too many that I could look to that were guys, and they were the two that I always looked to, so I love them. But I love like TLC, Destiny's Child, Aaliyah, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey. We can even take it back further to like Stephanie Mills and Patti LaBelle, Al Green, Shaka Khan, Aretha Franklin, all the really great singers. I even love Christina Aguilera, Jennifer Hudson, the really big voiced women. You know what I mean? Beyonce. I'm very musically influenced by a lot of older singers. I don't know why Los Angeles. This is just the place that ended up calling me, and I had $1,000. I had been working for a while, and that was what I saved up, and I ordered a plane ticket, and I just up and left, and the rest is history ever since, literally. I definitely was not ready for the city life and was not prepared at all. Everything is so much more fast-paced and so different from what I'm used to, and even all the homeless people out here. I didn't have none of this where I came from. Everything was so much slower and was a lot more like dead, and it was like a box and it was so small. You know what I mean? But I'm doing okay out here, and I'm happy, and I'm happier than I've ever been. And I just hope to continue to grow as an artist and continue to evolve and grow my fan base and my platform. But also something else is it's just really interesting that you meet so many different types of people out here. And I remember being told before I moved up here by a close friend that you never know who you're ever going to run into or that you're ever going to meet. And I've already met quite a few celebrities, but even just regular people that walk the streets every day that are so exotic and so different, and they come from a different culture or a different place than you. And it's just interesting to see, there's a little bit of everything out here for everyone, and there's room to grow. LA definitely has some interesting people out here. I've had my fair share of weird experiences. I had a black lady walk up to me randomly one time and was just like, "Damn, little boy, you got a pretty ass mouth." Thank you so much. I mean, I'm single if you wanna, you know. So the city life is great, but something else that's interesting is the weather out here. I heard a running gag before I moved out here that LA has no seasons, but I didn't know y'all were serious. Anybody that knows me knows I am a Christmas crackhead. I'm very festive. I'm obsessed with it. It's my life. It's Christmas all year round for me. I had my Christmas tree up since April. I didn't give a fuck. So for me to come out here and there were no seasons and I didn't get any snow or there weren't leaves on the ground in the fall time, that broke my heart. I ain't do nothing to deserve that shit. And oh my God, the cockroaches out here are ginormous. Why didn't anybody warn me about that? I think the most beautiful part and thing about LA to me is that it's been good to me. And it's proven itself to me, and it's shown me that it's where I need to be right now, temporarily, and that this was where I was supposed to get my start. It's been good to me, and it's given me opportunities. I've been able to do what I want to do, both musically and acting wise. I've been on set. I've had my first professional job on set already. I have an album out. I have my videos out and everything. And it's working out so far. I'm very thankful I didn't have to work a regular odd job for too much longer, because I would not have lived to see another day if I had to stay there any longer. Because I remember when I was a cashier and a waiter still, I would come in the morning and I would drink my coffee and I would have my headphones with me and I would sit in the booth, and I would always be late, clocking in like 3 or 5 minutes, because I would choose to sit there continuing to listen to my headphones instead of getting up and clocking in. And they'd be up there looking for me like, where's he at? He hasn't clocked in yet. And I'm just still sitting out there in the booth drinking my coffee. Nobody knows where I am. But yeah, I would always listen to my headphones, and that would distract me from getting up and clocking in like I was supposed to. And then I remember I used to always get called into like the little office or like the meeting rooms, and my managers would have to sit me down and they would have talks with me like every few weeks, literally, about like my job performance, because I was always messing up people's orders on the register because I'm not mathematical and not that bright with numbers. And they would tell me how it was costing them money and ruining their business. They would tell me I was ruining their business, and because I always struggled on the register and I just would mess up people's orders all the time, and it was just really bad. And eventually it led to termination and me being let go, and it is what it is. That was that. And not ragging on who my boss was at the time or anything, or making fun of him, but when I transferred and I moved to LA and I worked at the second cafe that I was at, my manager at the time had a funny accent, and he used to always point at me when I would mess up orders or get something wrong. He'd be like, hey, I send you back to Midwest. You better stop that. I send you back to Midwest. So awesome. The one and only, my queen.
I feel like a student and there's something. Yep. Fucking mouse.
Well, what a lot of people probably don't know is I've had a couple of the songs on the album since I was 14, 15 years old in high school. Unlike Unhandsome, I wrote that when I was like 14, and Being With You, I wrote when I was 14, 15 also. And there was even a couple songs that I had during the making of the album that didn't make it on the album at the last minute that I also wrote in high school. And that's one thing that makes this album very personal to me, because some of those songs I go way back with. I've had since I was a kid in high school. Lavender Boy is my favorite song on the album. It's the only upbeat single out of the 4 singles, and it's just the word that I made up, just like TinderlinderLIFESTYLE. I made it up and wrote around it, made it mean something, and it's just a song about opening up again and loving for the first time after going through a hard breakup, and just being like, show me that you love me, come get my love, you know what I mean? Prove to me that you love me. And when I heard the beat, immediately that's where the melody went. If you want my love, come get it from me. That ended up being the concept. I had fun shooting the video, ultimately, and again, it was the only upbeat single out of all the singles, and I just felt like it needed to be authentically different and stand out. I thought the cute little animated cartoons were adorable, and I just inserted them in there. I had a bunch of ideas hitting me all at once, though, and I had to be like, okay, sit down, because you gotta edit it. Don't do too much, because the video was so much fun. I shot till like 6 in the morning. I didn't want to stop, So yeah, I had a lot of fun. It's my favorite song. The main thing I love about my album, and I've said this before, is that it's authentically me and it's very, very raw. As raw as possible and as raw as it's gonna get, because I was very low budget. I didn't have a lot of money when recording it. I didn't have a lot of money shooting the videos. I did it all myself on my Fluke's little phone. I sang it to my little mic on my phone when recording. I shot the videos from my phone camera, and it wasn't professional, but I still went for it, and I think that was what made it authentic. But that also comes with, you know, loving your art as an artist. That's why we're called artists. Our music and our content, anything we create, anything we do and make is our art. And you need to love it and embrace it and accept it for what it is. I knew, because I always knew that eventually I wouldn't always be at that point where I was low budget. Eventually I'm going to have a high budget video and I'll be able to record in an actual studio professionally and have real engineers and everything. But for now, just stick with what I have. And it's doing pretty good and people love it and accept it. So, and the main reason I did that is because I didn't want there to be any excuses or any reason at all why I couldn't go for it or make this happen for me. I wanted this too badly to just sit around and try to wait till I found a studio, or to even go broke going to the studio every day. With the way I record, I probably would have went broke because I spend hours in the studio. I record till the sun comes up most days. So knowing I didn't have those things, I just wanted to be smart and use what I had and make the best of it, you know, and not let it get me down. I was 20 years old, and I just stepped out on faith, and just because I wanted this so badly. And it was a big move for me, and I was, you know, just a 20-year-old kid with a dream. But I knew what I was coming out here for, and I knew what my focus was, and that I needed to keep it, and that if I kept it, I could accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. And I'm doing it now, and I'm glad. Me as an artist, I don't focus on numbers or, you know, quote unquote, going viral and trying to be, you know, like, you know, in the forefront and just popping off immediately. You know what I mean? I want longevity, and I know that takes time. And again, I'm not trendy. I'm not what's considered cool or hip. So that might be something that, you know, makes it take even longer. But I'm cool with that, you know, because again, what's important to me is that I last long in this business. I don't want to be a flame that dies out after so long. You know what I mean? So when it comes to things like views or even charts, you know what I mean? I don't look at that stuff. I don't pay attention to it. I mean, I'll check every now and then just to see my progress, but I don't look at it in a way of like, oh, I need to beat this person, or I need more views than that person over there. Like, I don't do it for that. You know what I mean? I know eventually, you know, I'll get more further out there when it's my time. You know what I mean? I'm still in the beginning. I'm on my first album. You know what I mean? I'm still young right now. So I know that a good career and a long-lasting career is not going to happen overnight. Nothing good ever does. I think in closing, I just would like to thank everybody who's supported me so far. And I hope to continue to grow as an artist and continue to grow my fan base, grow more Stanley members, and that we can just become like a big happy family. And you know that you guys continue to love me and enjoy my music. And I hope I can make you all happy and change the world one day.